Alright, what's good YouTube? So in today's video, I know I usually post about the Can-Am, but I think it's time to do a little upgrade on my truck. I got it about a year ago, and I bought this kit for it. It's for the Pro4x. They're just some amber lights that go in the grill, and I've been having them for the same amount of time, about a year, but I've been pushing it off and decided that today was the day to get it installed. So the worst part about this that I've been reading is removing this front grill. But to start, we're gonna get these little pins off, or plastic, I don't know, they're kind of different. You could either use a flathead or a size 8mm wrench, and all you do is you twist them and get them off. But let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, about 6 of them at the top, and then we're gonna remove, I believe it's 2 that are here on the side, and from the hardest ones are at the bottom of the grill here all the way over there. But we'll see what we do, and I'll walk you guys through it. There's not really good detailed videos on the removal of the grill, but I'll try and do my best. So this is pretty much a little square that you have to turn so that it fits in the spot. And I'm turning counterclockwise. I don't know if it worked clockwise. So we got the top removed. The instructions have to be downloaded online. I'll see if I could post a link for you guys. So now the ones that I'm removing are, let's see if I can. So on the driver's side, I got them off already, which is this one and one down there hidden. My fingers are a little bit on the thicker side, so it is kind of hard to get in there. But all you do is you pretty much get that clip right there, that's right there, and you kind of push it to the side, and then you pull at the same time, and you'll hear it clip off. So it's kind of hard to record that section, but I'm gonna try and remove it and then show you guys the actual clip. So my hand's gonna be in the way because there's really no way to record without my hand being in there. So got one off. I'm gonna reach down and get the other one. There we go. It is hard plastic. The other thing that the instructions do mention is to put some tape underneath here, because the plastic is going to be moving and you can scratch up your paint down in here. And it gives you on the instructions the diagram of where you should put tape. You could just put it all across. So let me put my tape on there and I'll get back on the video. So that's about the tape I'm going to be running on it. You could do more. It's mainly on the visible part of the paint that you want it. But yeah, I guess it's preference. But now that we have it sort of loose, now we can get started with the bottom ones. It's weird, it doesn't really have a spot to show you. And these grills are different than the videos you're gonna see out there, because all the videos are a little older. But let me see if I can kind of squeeze you guys in here. So I'm trying to get the camera to focus. I can't really get a good shot. It's kind of dark. You kind of see it there. I'll put an arrow on the video. But there's a little plastic clip there, and it's inside. All I have to do is lift it up a little bit to have it release. Like I said, this angle won't be the greatest to record. Let me undo it and I'll show you how I did it. And to reach that one that I was just telling you about, you can put your hand through here. Right under this bracket, you'll feel that little clip I'm talking about. And I could see it here, and I can feel it with the hand. It's just the visual on the camera, there's no way I can get an angle in it. So I've been going at it still. So far I have this one out and the one next to it. Both of these I got off through in here, and then the following one that's after that, I have to stick my hand through here. So I'm struggling a little bit. I can feel it. It's just pushing upwards. I don't have a good grip on it. So if you have skinnier hands, this is gonna be pretty easy for you, I say. I think once I remove that one, maybe one more, I'll be able to reach them through the inside here. But it is kind of complicated. There's not a lot of room. I even removed my bottom skid cover, 6 screws, and it came off. If you ever need to do an oil change, you'll have to remove it. It's not too complicated. But let me keep on trying to get that next one. Wow, that was a mission. So once you get going, it only gets a little easier, but I'll show you now. These are all the ones we need. So what's that? I got maybe one more to go. That middle one, this one, I got with the screwdriver. This is my longer one. I was able to reach in there. It's that one, but I'll show you on one of these. So I was able to reach in, put my screwdriver here in one of these tabs, and then just pry up. Just pry it up like that, and you'll see that it's just a little thing here you have to push up for them to release. There we go. So you just pry that up with your finger, or like I did with the screwdriver. So I got 2 more. It looks like this plastic cover comes off. I feel like if we were to remove this process would be a lot easier. Your hand kind of goes in like this, and it's really your thumb that goes in there, and you push it up to release that clamp. But let me get these 2 out. That is the hardest part of this job, but looks like we're getting it done. So I got all the tabs off. Whew, what a mission. But I just have to remove my camera plug. Whew. Got the camera off, and this comes right off. So there is really no easy way to do this. The pins go in here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you got your 2 here. I think what really makes this harder than what it should be is this whole base right here. Oh, it's mortarized. Huh, never even seen that before. Anyways, these are your dreaded pins, or plastic tabs that hold. Let me flip it upside down here. So once you get a thumb in here, pushing them in isn't hard. The thing is getting your hand in there. So This one and this one, I was able to get through the inside over here. So I reached down in here, and I don't know if you can see my finger right here. That's how I ended up pushing it up. You can't see this with the grill on there. You just have to feel with the finger, with your hand. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's where you push up. You push it up and it'll release. And then to get to this one, I was able to stick my hand in here. And if you can see my finger right there. So I was pushing up. I had to do it with my thumb. So I think I used my, or you could do it with any finger, as long as it's strong. So this one and this one, I was able to do it through here. If you can see my hand on this side. Was it this one? This middle one I couldn't reach. That's the one I used a screwdriver and pried it off a little bit. And then to get to this one, I used my hand again. You can see my finger there. This one I used my finger. This one I used my finger. This one took me a little bit. And these two edge ones are the ones you can stick your hand to the side here. And then you're gonna have to push up here like that. And this one is kind of on the easiest one. But we got it off. Now let me set up to get the light kit installed. So if you make it this far, because it is hard, and I almost wanted to give up, but I kept trying. It did take me an hour to get it off, but the hardest thing that was a holdup was getting these tabs off. I kept taking breaks, trying to do different things. Finally got it off. So this is the kit you'll see, and this will pretty much go like this over this. So what it's telling me to use a T25 Torx bit. I couldn't find my ratchet socket, so I'm gonna use just some hand ones, and it's a T25. Oh, and the T25 on this isn't the greatest. It comes with 3, so I'm gonna use those 3. I believe they must be a little longer. And they are. So let me bolt these up and I'll hyperlapse it. So here I'm just doing a quick test fit. Make sure the lights are centered and where they need to be, which they are. I don't like how they feel a little flimsy on the 2 outer ones. The middle one is bolted right in the center, so that one's pretty good setup there. I was gonna try and use the original hardware. I did use one of the bolts that's original, just because I like that it almost has a washer head. I don't know what they're called. Flat screws. But when I was tying it up, it did want to get loose and strip, because they're not as long. So make sure you put the long ones. It comes in the kit, and it still holds. You could always add a washer. I feel like it's gonna hold just fine. But I didn't put the middle one. I prefer this middle one with that one. And then I did see that on the Platinums, and it even tells you right here, it's backwards, upside down, but it says Platinum right hand. So I guess the Platinums have some type of clip, maybe plastic clip that goes in here, or needs to be removed. Not too sure. So I'm currently working on disconnecting the headlamps. So this is gonna be kind of tricky. This is the lock. Let me see if I can close it. Give me 1 second. I was trying to replicate what was happening, because you're gonna think it's this one for the headlights, but it's not. It's further in, and you can't really see. You can only get your hand in there. This is the safety pin or lock. When you move it, it's gonna move a little bit, and you're gonna feel like it's all the way there. But put a little bit more force, and you're gonna hear it click. You might hear it click twice. The first time you move it, and then the second time. Once it's really released, you just press here, and it should pop out easily. If you're struggling, that means it's not back off all the way. I did remove the plug from in here as well. This one didn't release as much as the passenger side to where I can pull it upwards, but it's in here. And then it also comes with side lights. These side lights are meant to go somewhere on the side here. You have to print out the template to make a hole for them. I don't think I'm gonna run them, but I will run the wires just in case I ever want to get to them. But yeah, and you have to make some holes. I believe it's somewhere in this area on each side, which I have a little scratch right there. I don't know, I'll think about it. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna run the wiring. So when I did the test fitting, I decided to undo the cables from the driver's side, left hand side, and you're gonna connect the headlamp and the harness together. The headlamp, and it's gonna be tricky because you could only really get one hand in here. I got it. I heard the click, and then let's activate that safety lock pin. So that's good. And then the other one with the pin, this one goes to the headlight now. A little different harness, but it all works the same. So what I'm doing right now is connecting that last piece. I heard it click. I activate my lock pin there and give it a little pull, and it's connected. So it really is just complicated just because you can't see in there. The other way would be removing the headlight, but I don't want to do all that. Now what we're gonna do is route our cable, and we want this cable to pretty much kind of follow the harness that's already there. So we'll put a zip tie somewhere here. I might run the harness through the bottom here. There's a bracket. I might run it on the bottom. I'll check the instructions, see if it has a better way, because it looks like this harness is ran that way and eventually ends up down here. And I could do the same, but actually I won't, because the connection is gonna be on the left hand side instead of the middle. So we want our connection to be closer to this side. So let me run the wiring, and then I'll show you guys a video afterwards. So the way it's having me wire it, it's kind of weird. I'm just doing some test fitting, and it looks like if I wire it with the wires on this side, it's gonna give enough clearance to go through here and into there, instead of the instructions that tell me to follow this harness, wire into that wiring harness there, and then pull the wiring harness through here. So it just doesn't make sense to me. So I'll wire it this way. And then I'll work on the right hand wiring is actually for your side markers. It has nothing to do with the middle ones. So I'll wire it and I'll run the wire to both sides. So here's a look at the right hand side wiring harness. This is the headlight ones that go to the headlight. This is your side light. That at the moment I still don't think I'm gonna install them, but I want to have it there just in case I ever do. And same with this one. This one's the one we're gonna run all the way to this side. So I'll go ahead and run the wire and I'll kind of show you how I did it. So I got my wire harness in. This one's the one that gives you a little bit more slack, so you can actually pull the harness out. But here is my harness in case I do run those lights. Plenty of slack, and then the lights themselves come with maybe a foot of wiring. So I ran it through here. This one I did follow the harness here. I still need a zip tie. I'm trying to see how much slack I need to leave. But they'll zip tie there. There's a little opening here, and it fit pretty good. So on this side, you see the wiring here. I will be zip tying this. I don't want it hanging around. There is a harness that runs through here, halfway through it, if you could see there. So the newer harness you can see is on that side. And let's see, focus. I'm gonna zip tie to that harness that's right there. I just followed it along through the route I was initially gonna go with for the grill lights. So let me get these wiring. So you see it here, it comes in here under this bracket here and into here. I should have waited to zip tie that one. I could have just zip tied. This is the extra one for the side marker or side light. That's gonna end up being in there somewhere. I'll zip tie it for now if I ever do run it. And this is gonna go there. This one I'm not gonna zip tie till the end, till I have the grill back in there. But eventually I think it'll end up being something like this. Well, of course, tucked in and zip tied. But I'll get that all tied together. So I haven't zip tied that wire because I want it long to be able to put the grill back on while it's hooked up. So I attach the harness and it goes there, and it's eventually gonna run like this. But I want all this just to be able to mount it. Can't forget the camera there. And then my wirings. I have this one. I'll probably zip tie it down for now, because I'm gonna start putting them back together. But I zip tied there. I zip tied right there. And then it runs. I kind of left it snug between this zip tie here until it gets to the harness that's in the middle. Right there. And then it comes down. I grab both of the harness here and zip tie them there. And then same with this one. I'm gonna just zip tie it so it's not dangling around. Probably just fold it and zip tie it. But I think we're ready to mount the grill. Alright, now we can put it back. It's just to get some of those bugs out from the radiator and emission cooler. I got most of them on. Those side ones aren't clicking into place. Just trying to make sure it's not because of my harness. So we're kind of holding it. There's a lip on the inside that kind of like goes like this in a square, and if the flaps are kind of bent, it won't let you close it correctly. And they're rubber. Got it out of the way. There. Got it to clip on. So now we move onto the clips up here and we should be good to go. So in order to put these back on, I'm kind of struggling. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking them off completely. That way I can just put them back in. So the way you do it, you kind of pull off on the bottom side. So it's off of it, and then I put my flathead on the top and just kind of pry it off. There goes one. The only thing is you have to keep track of them, because if you lose them, you won't be using the same style unless you order some new ones. Luckily I have the bottom off and it just fell to the floor, but I did lose one already, so I got two off on that side, and then I just need to get this one off. If you do it slow, it'll stay in place. And then that way when I push this in, I could just clip them in. So I'm gonna look for the one I lost and we'll put it back together. So I finally found the last one. I had to remove the battery because when I flicked it off, it jumped into that section. But I'm placing the clips on like so, and then I'll eventually just clip them on there. So I'm gonna put them all on there and then I'll be ready to just push them in. So I got it all on. I should have tried it before putting everything back together, because if it doesn't turn on, I would have to unclip everything, but I wasn't thinking in the moment. So I may have did it wrong. There may be an easier way. I'm no professional, but at least now you'll be able to see, like, with a little bit more of a detail on the video on how to do it, and maybe you can improvise and do it better. The tape does work. I do see some spots where the tape is damaged, so I recommend the tape for sure. And then the way I did it with the clips, I don't know if it says it in the instructions, I didn't check, but that was the easier way to kind of get them on. That might be the only way to put them on. So I'm gonna remove this tape, give it a quick wipe down, put my battery back on, and then I'll let you guys see it. So there we have it, we're all done. I moved the Titan a little backwards so you can get this shot. I just need to turn them on, see if they turn on. And there it is. It adds a different look to it. Mine's all stock. All I have on is a tint. But I've been waiting for the tires to run out before I do like a leveling kit. I don't plan on lifting it too high. I mainly got it for towing my X3, which is sitting right there. But I've had the lights for a year, a little over a year, right when I think I ordered the lights while they were still prepping the truck for me to pick up. And I'll add another light or another view in the nighttime. I'm not sure. The LEDs look like they're flashing, but they're in real life they're not flashing. It's just the camera picks it up that way.